Hi, I'm Ben Province and welcome to Show Me the Music. On today's show, we feature an Austin, Texas band that's making excellent music and giving back. Alternative rockers Alpha Rev broke out when the band's single New Morning reached the Billboard Hot 100. Since forming a decade ago, the band has released 3 full-length albums and 2 EPs. Alpha Rev looks to make some noise and support a good cause with the band's latest single, Names. And joining me now is Casey McPherson, lead singer of Alpha Rev. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so you're doing some great things, helping people out, making great music with Habitat for Humanity. Tell me all about it.
Well, so, we are trying an experiment where you can use music and film to create change in an environment. And the environment we've picked for the next 6 to 8 months is generational poverty and kind of helping people get from the place where they believe that they'll never be able to have anything or do anything to the place that they can. And we found Habitat for Humanity to be an organization that really does that really well. And so we've written a song that around, after kind of spending a lot of time with certain habitats and what they do and being inspired by that. So we wrote a song for them, and all those proceeds are going to Habitat to build a house for a family for the next 6 months. And then we're working on a short documentary, a music video, and some things like that with different habitats. And I actually met with the Habitat in St. Louis
Nice.
to talk to them about doing something here in the city.
Very cool, very cool. And the song, of course, is called Names. Kind of an anthem, I feel like it's kind of a unique song to the Alpha Rev catalog.
I need a song to hold my love, to break the ground, build it up. I will not be who I have been.
Do you feel like it's kind of a continuation of what you have been doing before, or do you feel like it's kind of a new beginning for the band?
Well, I think it's definitely, we got lucky because we got to use the guys in Beck's band, which were the former Jellyfish dudes, and they have a very unique approach to music. And so I think for Alpha Rev's next record and next, a lot of times an artist has to get inspired, to really make something different and unique and new. And so those guys have been a big help in doing that.
And this will be a part of Names will be off of what will be your 4th studio album, correct?
Either that or we're going to release an EP. We haven't really
Okay.
decided, so we're still in the studio. Obviously right now we're on tour, but
Sure.
when we get off the road, we'll be going back in the studio and seeing what happens.
Sure, and you're doing kind of an acoustic tour this go round. Is that unique for you guys, or is that kind of a new challenge to communicate these songs acoustically?
Yeah, both. I mean, it's different for us to do acoustic because the sound is kind of expansive,
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a real challenge to pull it off with 3 guys, but we're pulling it off, and it's the shows have been really a really cool experience.
And you're playing, of course, at Blueberry Hills Duck Room tonight. Do you have any St. Louis memories of just playing here in the past that really come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I came out here and heard about Chuck Berry's involvement here, and just what a staple. And obviously there's so much history here with music and
Right.
sports, and this city's just such a hub for a lot of our American history. So it's a cool feeling to get to come through here and be a part of it.
Any place you like to check out when you stop by St. Louis?
Well, I recently just went down the road. What road are we on? We're
Del
on
Mar.
Del Mar. So I went down the road, and there's this Italian coffee shop with all of these cannolis and pastries. And it was a very long name. I can't remember what it is, but I think I will be going there every time I come to St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Looks amazing.
Absolutely. And Alpha Rev isn't the only band you're working in. You also have a prog rock project, kind of a supergroup. Tell me all about that.
Yeah, so Mike Portnoy, we call him Mike Portney when he's getting on your nerves.
Of Dream Theater.
Yeah. So he was originally in Dream Theater, and now he's in a few different bands, but he became a fan of my music and a while ago, and we met at a recording studio in Avatar where he was making, I think, his second to last Dream Theater record, and I was making my first Alpha Rev record.
Okay.
Or second Alpha Rev record. And we got to hang out and really bond and got along really well. And so he recommended me for the Flying Colors project, which we didn't have a band name yet, but they were still looking for a singer. And so, you know, it's Steve Morse from Kansas, which is also now in Deep Purple, and Dave LaRue, which is, you know, he does all the big Satriani and G3 tour, and then Neil Morris, who was like from Spock's Beard and now does Transatlantic, and those guys are just monster musicians, you know. So it's been, it's like getting to be in a band with mentors.
Yeah.
You know, so I've learned a lot from them, and we get to, you know, we get to go play in Europe for thousands and thousands of people every night, and I just try to keep up.
And you get to kind of explore some heavier sounds in that band as compared to Alpha Rev. What do you enjoy about kind of that aspect of making music?
Well, I love that in progressive rock music, it's interesting because there's no limits. So you can have a 12-minute song, or you can have a 30-second song. You can change keys as many times as you want.
Yeah.
In pop music, you really can't do that, or, you know, a lot of the delivery systems, like just the radio, for instance, would never ever play something like that.
Sure.
So it's been cool to kind of explore, you know, expand your boundaries, for sure.
Sure. And so Alpha Rev formed in early 2000s, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
Where do you feel like the band has come? You've had some success with songs like New Morning, a song I'm sure a lot of people will recognize. Where do you feel like you guys are as a band right now?
Well, you know, when I first started a band, I thought that one day you woke up and all of a sudden you were rich and famous.
Sure.
All of a sudden you had arrived. And, you know, for me, being a band has just been exactly like it is for anyone else starting a small creative business. Is that small increments increase your income enough to where, all of a sudden you're living off of it. All of a sudden you're expanding it. All of a sudden now we're able to do a national tour from coast to coast and come home with money in our pockets, you know? And so Alpha Rev's been a slow growing band over the years, and that's great. I've enjoyed the process.
Absolutely. And what are you listening to now?
I'm thinking, I mean, I really love Florence and the Machine, you know, love a lot of that. There's a couple of other bands that I can't remember the names of, but there's some really cool music coming out right now, you know, and even though some of it's dished in kind of candy doses, a lot of people are using some unique sounds. So I think it's a good time for music.
Yeah, I do too. And Names, again, is a new single. Where can people go pick it up?
Yeah, so Names is our new single. Every download, all the proceeds go to building a house with Habitat, like I said earlier. And you can go to iTunes to download the song. And if your radio station isn't playing it, you can call your radio station and it's on their list. So if you ask them to play it, they can find it.
Absolutely. All right, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having
Casey,
me.
my name's Ben, and you're watching Show Me the Music.
One day soon you're gonna find a song and music getting built to dread. Yeah, and music getting built to dread.
Well, that'll do it for today's episode. I want to give a big thank you to Alpha Rev and, of course, the Blueberry Hill. Well, until next time, my name is Ben Province, and I'm asking you to show me the music.